stopped. But to your point, they only gave up 13 points, able to get a big interception from Josiah Scott right before the half. Because if they get 20 right there, I'm really nervous going into the locker room. But as it was, they stopped them there and then held them without any points in the second half. Obviously, the pick six that Gardner gave up. But we needed more opportunities to take the ball away from the Saints. That's the one thing I will say. When your offense is struggling like our offense was struggling, we needed a short field to sort of work with and to get that ball off of Andy Dalton. Great job getting to him, getting sacks, but I wish we could have been able to get a strip sack, get a loose ball out there. That's the only other thing I would point at from the defensive standpoint is when you know your offense is struggling, you got to find a way to take the ball away to give your offense a short field.
And sack don't mean shit if you don't win the football game.
Pass protection, and not all of this, by the way, is on the offensive line. 5 sacks in the first half of Gardner Minshew, guys. And that, to me, is a big part of the reason why they went 4 straight drives with 3 and outs. They have got to do a better job of making sure that the ball gets out of Gardner Minshew's hands a little bit faster. We talked about that last week against Dallas. They did a great job of getting the ball out fast. And in this game, too often, Gardner was a little bit indecisive in terms of getting the ball out of his hands, and it resulted in him hitting the ground too many times. That set them behind the sticks, and now they were trying to working uphill really too often in this game, especially in the first half. A big reason why that offense just could not get off the ground.
Only 67 rushing yards today. Against the Saints team, they
didn't run the football a lot in that game. They came in the second half running the rock. They should have ran the rock in the first quarter, first half.
Opportunities in the passing game, and they stuck with that. Where do you think it kind of went wrong?
Well, I think the game plan was to throw the ball when they came in. You're looking at an offense that's coming off a throwing for 300 and something yards last week against the Dallas Cowboys. That gives the offense of play callers and play designers the confidence to stick with the throwing coming into the next week. But I believe the difference was the Saints played a lot of man coverage in that first half, and you see the lack of confidence in letting the ball go. When you're playing zone, you can find windows to throw the ball in. But when you got man coverage out there, if a quarterback doesn't necessarily have full confidence that he can get the ball there, then he's not going to let it go. And that's what I think Gardner was doing in that first half, holding on to the ball instead of just letting it go and trusting what his eyes see. But they got a lot more man coverage in that first half. And then once you get down, it's hard for an offense to say, we're going to stick with the run now. So when you start to struggle now in your mind, you're saying we need to get chunk plays. We need to put points on the board because this team is used to scoring. They came into this game as the #1 scoring team in the league. And while we know they can move the ball on the ground, they want to throw the ball through the air. When you got the weapons, Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, you're going to want to throw the ball. And when you're struggling to move it, it almost puts more pressure on you to throw the football. So sometimes you get caught in the middle of that when you're in the game.
Yeah, I think the game flow, the game momentum certainly plays a big part of that. Only 17 plays in the first half. And so when you only have 17 plays in one half of football, you're going to struggle to really generate a lot of volume on the ground. So the second drive of the game, they came out. Miles went for +4. Miles went for +5. That brought up 3rd and 1. They ran an RPO. Gardner Minshew held onto the football and took a sack on 3rd down, right? So that just, again, speaks to everything kind of working in concert together. If the pass game is not working and you're not moving the sticks, then all of a sudden those runs aren't always going to be available to you because the next drive they came out and it's a 1st down sack, right? You drop back to pass. Now it's second and 16. It's tough to be able to run the football in that kind of a scenario. So I think when you look at it from a total volume standpoint, they just struggled to really kind of generate enough where they said, okay, we feel good about running the football. Miles went for over 5 yards a carry today, but you just didn't have the volume there just because of the flow of the game.
And Devontae Smith, kind of under the radar, had another 100-yard day, his 3rd straight.
I didn't even realize.
I didn't realize that either. 9 receptions for 115 yards. He was averaging 12.8 yards per catch. So he's, again, being this pivotal piece to this offense. But where the Eagles have found success this season is in the red zone.
Yeah.
And that was an issue. They couldn't get to the red zone, and when they were there, they also couldn't capitalize.
Yeah, give that Saints defense a little bit of credit. They would clamp down when the Eagles got close to being down there. But you're right, between the 20s.
You know what? Normally, I know I mentioned stats. Sometimes I talk about stats in the game, but I'm not going to talk about stats today because I am totally, completely distraught about what I saw today in the Eagles team that seemed to be in a slump.
But I think the other momentum killer was
ever since
the holding call.
I was just gonna say 8 penalties.
Ever since the Cowboys game, this Eagles team has played. They had played horrible, and Garner Minshew. I really can't say that he's the backup because it appears to be he's not a good quarterback that everyone thinks that he can be. So at this point in time, I can't go with Minshew no more. But see, you look at it now. When you're 13-3, one more game left in the season, you're playing a New York Giants team that is now 9-6.
You got that pick six.
They won today.
The dagger right there.
The Washington Redskins, the Washington Commanders lost today.
Moving the football earlier. It
so
was going to be tough
that
to be able
that
to
kind of gives you a pivotal right there as to what the Giants have seen in these last two games against us since we played them.
Things started to snowball, go in the opposite way.
What they saw today, what the Saints did, and what the Cowboys done, they're going to do in the last game in the regular season. So that's why, as far as everything goes, see now, Minshew is now 0-2 in the starts. He's 0-2 now in his last several starts of in his NFL career. 0-2. And both teams wound up being losses. He threw 2 interceptions last week against the Cowboys, and all of a sudden now you're going to throw 1 pick in this game here. So maybe it's the protection stand. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know exactly. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but I know what the Saints saw the Cowboys did. The Saints did today. So I expect the Giants to do the same thing against us in this game against next week against the New York Giants. And what it does now, it questions now, do he need to play in this game? Next week's game, I say yes. If we're going to secure home field advantage, the number 1 seed and the NFC East, Hurts has to play. And that's what it's going to come down to. He's going to have to play. There's no other options now. There's no options. It really ain't. And if you look at it now, Hurts is 2-0 against the New Orleans Saints. Minshew is 0-2 against them.
He didn't trust his eyes enough.
And this is bad. This is really, really bad. And what they're saying here on Eagles app here, they're talking about what happened in this entire game from the first half to the second half. It's self-evident now. And it is terrible. This is really terrible. And so when you get sacked, sacks don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing if you don't win the football game. Intercept don't mean nothing if you don't win the football game. I didn't even know Minshew got sacked 5 times. Yeah, I went to church today, so I wasn't able to enjoy the first half. But he got sacked 5 times in this game. 5 times.
Brandon Graham getting his first ever double-digit sacks. He got number 10 and number 11 today.
Just to make sure he got it.
Yeah.
So, to me, sacks don't mean nothing if you don't win the football game. That's how I feel about it. I'm not sure how Eagles Nation feel about it, or how a lot of my Eagles YouTube content creators feel about it. But I feel if you don't get if you get all these statistics as far as sacks, interceptions, quarterback hurries, all that do not mean nothing if you don't win the football game. That's how I feel about it. So I look at it all as a negative. To me, it's a negative. It's a negative to me if you don't win the football game. So, wow, this hurt. This loss probably hurts more than the Dallas Cowboys loss. At least for the Cowboys loss, we only lost by 7. This game we lost by 10 points. So it's like the loss total goes up, and up. So now this game against New York Giants is very pivotal. It's very pivotal, very vital, and it's an urgency game. And I do expect Hurts to start next week. I expect the entire offensive line to start next week. And I expect the defense to start next week. That's what I expect. I don't expect nothing more, nothing less. So, with that being said, it's just that like I said, I can't mention these stats because stats don't mean nothing. Like I said, it don't mean shit if you don't win the football game. So this is terrible. It's really terrible. I'll probably mention the sacks in another video probably tomorrow or maybe somewhere down the line. As it depends how I feel. I may mention the sacks, but I'm not gonna be mentioning the stats. But right now I can't mention it because this was a terrible loss, and it's terrible. I mean,
yeah, we just couldn't get rolling. You know, it's one of those things you just try to get that first
so,
down, and we kept just shooting our.
Without any further ado,
and they're a good defense too. You know, there's not much room for error when you play. Like and,
I'm not exactly sure what week this is. Let me check and see.
Yeah, probably so.
Let me see what week this is. Okay, this is week 17. This is a week 17 game that we played, and I don't know what to say. It was a horrible loss. It's a week 17 loss. 20-10 New Orleans Saints. But I can't hate the Saints. I can just say congratulations to the New Orleans Saints for winning the football game. They played a very good game. So I can only say we heard ourselves for the interceptions, the 5 sacks that took us out of the 5 sacks that led to negative yards.
Yeah, I was
the penalties.
Sure. We had I think we had a great plan. You know, that way.
And
just,
let me see. I think I mentioned. Let's see. Let me go back. The interception.
Man, it was,
the 5 sacks.
We ran that same play earlier. The
7 penalties.
Made a great adjustment to it. Jumped the route.
And that's it. Those 3
you know, when we made the motion,
were the reason why we lost the football game. But
coverage,
overall, I will say of all the 3, the INT or the pick 6 that this clown here Minshew threw, which led to the 20 points from the first play, because it was 13-10. And that pick, 19, field goal, 20. So, this is your boy, Week 17 matchup. The Eagles lost to the New Orleans Saints, 20-10. Comment, like, share, subscribe, notification bell on top, and comment in the comment section below. Ain't nothing more we can say about this loss. I mean, I'm disappointed, but what this does do, and for the entire offensive, entire defensive, entire starting team, we'll be playing next week against the New York Giants. We gotta win, because this game this is an urgent win for us. We got to win, you know what I'm saying? It's a must. Because I will say that the Giants are going to replicate what they saw with the Giants, I mean what the Saints did and what the Cowboys did. Holla y'all. Peace out. Enjoy your terrible Sunday. Like I'm about to enjoy. Bye bye.